Today on Beyond. The hills of San Francisco are this woman's worst nightmare.
I mean, that's it. I can't go down the hill.
Can hypnosis drive her fears away? But first, Karen Foster looks like your average mom, but looks can be deceiving.
I worked for the Anchorage Police Department as an undercover buy officer. I went into crack houses and bought crack.
Karen is haunted by the possibility that her role in a drug sting may have had deadly implications for her family. It was a crisp fall day, 1994, when 18-year-old Bonnie Craig began her usual 45-minute walk to the bus stop.
We know that she left for school in the morning and that she never made it on the bus, and her body was found later on that day.
Bonnie had been brutally raped and murdered. Her lifeless body was found floating in a creek.
There's been no answers as far as who was responsible for the crime.
But Karen has an idea of some potential suspects.
Just before I left town, we did a big bust where we hit 3 different locations. I was the one that identified these people. And they were in court the day before and released from jail the day before Bonnie was murdered. To know for sure that that had nothing to do with it is real important. I always will feel like I wasn't there. We just hope that today from James we'll be able to get answers.
Using his extraordinary psychic ability to communicate with spirits, he's transformed lives by unlocking mysteries and sharing secrets from the other side. James Van Praagh, best-selling author, renowned medium, and your connection to the world beyond.
Hi, Karen. You're Karen. Hi, Karen James. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
And
too.
you are Samantha. Hi, Samantha. Nice to meet you. And thank you for coming here today. I know you lost your daughter, and this is your sister. And yeah, okay. I know she was brutally killed, and you want to try to reach her today. And,
Yes.
okay, how long ago was this passing?
8 years ago.
So it's a little bit of time. A little bit of
Yes.
time. And it's an unsolved murder,
Unsolved.
yeah. Okay. Well, I don't think they've been looking in the right places.
Okay.
And I get a sense very much that this person that did this is more than one. And your daughter's standing right here, over here, very, very close.
Okay.
There's also a man who comes in with her. I'm not sure it's a grandparent of hers, a grandfather, her grandfather. Would this be your husband's father?
No, he hasn't.
Is your father?
No.
There's a male with her who's passed over. It's definitely a grandparent feeling.
Okay.
Okay? Am I okay? Is it your grandfather?
Possibly my grandfather. Yeah.
And who worked with wood or made things with wood?
He did a lot of
Thank
things.
you. That's the survival evidence of him.
Okay.
That's who it is. He's giving me the validation that he used to be a craftsman with wood.
Okay.
You understand that? Right? Was her body found out somewhere like a wooded area type of thing, please?
Yes.
Okay.
She fell off a cliff into some water
Okay. And I see woods all around it, though.
all around.
There are 2 men that are involved here. There are 2
Okay.
men. And were there tracks of these men? Did they have tracks?
I think
Shoe
they might,
tracks,
yeah.
please.
I think
She's talking
they
about
might.
shoe tracks. There were shoe
Okay.
tracks that the police, I don't know if they overlooked these tracks in the dirt, and I feel it's muddy,
Okay. would
okay?
have been.
I feel it's muddy.
Uh-huh.
I don't feel they're old, by the way, when they do this. I don't feel they're really old. I feel like they're maybe 20s, yeah, early 20s, this feeling I'm getting here. I think that, would she also work part-time? Was there a part-time job she had also?
Yes.
Because I think they were looking at her or saw her for the first time at work. I'm telling you, she's talking about one person being in prison already. So one person in prison
Okay.
is something else,
Okay.
okay? And they split up. And this is I mean, Anchorage is a big city, but yet it's a very small town in a way.
Right.
Because she's telling me these are people that she recognized. She didn't know them like friends, but she recognized them.
Okay.
Where is there like a hunting store? Is there a street where there's a hunting store, like a sells guns, sells fishing things, sells? You understand this?
Yes.
Okay. Did she work close by that?
No.
No. Right.
Wait,
Right beside Sam's Club is
Sports Authority.
Sports Authority.
I don't know what that is. Is this what I'm describing,
And
please?
They would have the hunting stuff.
Thank you. This is what I'm describing here. I will tell you that there are 2 people that were involved with this, she's telling me. I definitely see 2 people here. And did they find, I know it's a long time ago that this happened, were they, got you. She doesn't like to even go there because she said there's so much more wonderful, beautiful things that she's experiencing, and that she doesn't want you to be caught up in that because there's so much more beautiful things to be happy about.
Right.
And she's showing me sunsets. She loves the sunsets. And she said, my mom thinks of me every time there's a sunset, a beautiful sunset, she mentions my name. Does that make sense, please? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Thank you. You can't think of her as being young because she's grown up. She's grown up. So she's telling me that you wanted to know how old she was, or that you wanted to know that she was, you know, what she was like now. Does that make sense? Oh, did you? Were you talking about that or something?
Yes, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, okay. Because she said, I'm answering your question that you had about how old I am. And was she a little older than you?
Yes.
Okay. Because she seems older than you.
Yeah.
And you're very alike. I mean, you really are very alike. But she's funny. She has a good sense of humor here. And why do you still keep her clothes? She wants me to ask you. She said, I don't understand why my mother keeps my clothes. I'm not going to wear them again. And they don't. And she goes, they don't fit me anyway. I also want to ask you if you have her winter cap. You know, pullover hat.
No, it's a wrestling thing.
Oh, is it a wrestling hat?
Yeah,
Oh, all
to
right.
cover
That's
the
what it means.
ears.
I don't know. I'm sorry. She said you have my hat. Okay. Is that the wrestling thing? That's the
Yeah.
wrestling? Okay. All right. I
She
don't know.
was the first girl in wrestling, and they had a cap for her ears that.
Oh, so that's significant.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that's good. I don't want you getting the headaches anymore.
I don't really get headaches.
Are there
but just-
nightmares or
No,
no? What
No.
is this about headaches?
maybe just recently, a little bit.
Go on.
Just the guilt.
Guilt about that you could have saved her life and you could have helped her, but
That I wasn't there.
yeah. And you know what? That's a natural reaction. And you couldn't have stopped it because you weren't, you know, you couldn't have, you didn't know. You didn't know. You know what I mean? So you shouldn't do that to yourself. She said, please don't do that to yourself, Mom. Please don't do that to yourself, Mom. All right? All right, sweetie. I'll leave you with that. It's okay? There are 2 men that are involved here. There are 2
Okay.
men.
James believes 2 men were involved. He says one may already be in prison for something else. They know your daughter from her job. Any of this new information for you?
No, but it's a total different focus because I've always focused on 2 other things. And I think very little attention was paid to this particular person that may be involved.
You can't think of her as being young because she's grown up.
Yesterday, my mom and I were looking over a bunch of photos of my sister that were a couple months before she was murdered, and I was just thinking, man, she looks so young. I never thought of her as looking that young, and I hadn't looked at those pictures in a while, so I was like, no, Mom, she's grown up.
How old would she be now?
She'd be 26.
26.
She said, please don't do that to yourself, Mom. Please don't do that to yourself, Mom.
I think any law enforcement person always wonders if a murder that happens in their family has something to do with their job.
So
Yeah,
how do you feel like you can move on from that based
Yes.
on this reading?
Yes.
Is this something you've always held on to? You felt
Yes.
responsible?
And I always felt like it wasn't investigated properly or enough. I needed that proof that, no, it had nothing to do with the undercover drug operation.
James also said that you have to stop blaming yourself. Do you think that's something that you can do?
Especially now that I don't have that connection with the possible retribution from my undercover drug work. That really is helpful. I guess also the fact that, you know, she's okay. She's happy where she is. I feel good about that.
I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. That was positive.
Still to come, her father's been watching her go through his things.
Took it out yesterday to
You
bring
took it
it
out
with me.
yesterday.
I brought it with me, his ID card.
You brought it with you here today? Thank you. Guess what? He's here.
He's been gone a long time.
Plus,
So I mean, that's it. I can't go down the hill.
she swore she'd never be able to drive down this hill.
Oh, what have I got myself into?
Can hypnosis push her over the edge? Find out next on Beyond.
You know, here at Beyond, we're always interested in things considered impossible. Now, for Gloria Hudson, impossible means driving up the steep hills of San Francisco, where she lives. We sent hypnotherapist Tom Silver to visit Gloria to see if he could remove her lifelong fear of dramatic inclines. Let's take a look.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna turn because I can't. So I mean, that's it. I can't go down the hill. I just feel nervous, you know. Kind of like out of breath, nervous, shaky like.
Granted, the hills of San Francisco can startle most out-of-towners, but Gloria Hudson has been challenging them and losing for more years than she can remember.
It's ruining my life. Instead of my driving up a hill or going down a hill, I would walk.
Meet Tom Silver, a hypnotist who specializes in curing phobias.
Oh, thousands and thousands of people have fears of driving. And 50 million Americans suffer from phobic anxiety.
Oh, what have I got myself into? I think that there's nothing on the other side. You know, if I'm on the top of the hill, you know, you think there's nothing there and you're gonna just fall off. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it's not, because my mind just goes haywire with stuff.
We've challenged Tom to help Gloria overcome her phobia of driving steep inclines, and he's confident that hypnosis can cure her for good.
Why people have fears a lot of times is because they have had a negative experience and then all of a sudden they confront this fearful situation again.
Oh, what have I got myself into?
And as soon as they start to think about the fear, the subconscious brings up the emotion.
Gloria's fears may relate to a traumatic experience she had as a teenager.
My family, we had gone on a trip to Kentucky, and we had a really bad accident. We ended up facing this bridge, and I just felt like going over the bridge, you know, like in the water, and we were going to be dead.
So will hypnosis work? Gloria Hudson is skeptical.
I have some doubts now. I have some doubts.
I want to hypnotize you today, Gloria, to remove that fear that you have towards driving. So we want to remove that fear. It's not what you deserve. You deserve the freedom now in life. So we're going to begin. What I want to do is I want you to place your hands on your lap. I just want you to kind of just let yourself relax, let yourself go. I want you to focus your attention on your breathing now, Gloria.
Tom's goal is to tap into Gloria's subconscious, which he believes is the breeding ground of all fears. During hypnosis, he'll remove her fear and replace it with confidence.
50% of that negative emotion, fear, worry, towards driving up a hill or down a hill is now gone, just as wax melts off a candle. And when I say the word sleep, the hand will drop down, releasing 80% of that negative, useless, old, destructive worry and fear. Eyes open, wide awake. How do you feel right now?
I'm gonna see how things work.
It's gonna work great.
Feel good.
Can lifelong fears really be uprooted from our minds this easily? It's time to put Gloria to the test.
I'm just waiting to get to that little spot and, you know, go down that hill. That's what I want to do. Whew. I cannot believe I'm going down this hill. I mean, I'm not scared. I'm not gonna make any more U-turns. As a matter of fact, I'll make a U-turn and go back up the hill. Cannot believe this is incredible.
So will Gloria's ability to drive up hills last? Well, she seems to think so.
I did it. And
How was it?
It was great.
Oh, give me a hug. Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. I did it. I did it. I wasn't scared at all. I did.
Next, her parents are side by side.
Difference in height, boy. Yeah. Really difference in height.
Will the rest of the reading measure up? That's coming up next on Beyond.
I'm being told by a gentleman here who's, I'm not sure it's a daughter in the audience, about this man living and was in World War II, and you have his military things. And is this the wife or the daughters? Okay,
We're
can you
not
stand?
Together at all.
Oh, you're separate?
Yes.
You both lost a father?
I lost my grandfather. I have his.
You lost your father? It's a father.
Okay, good. Here you go.
Okay, and it's, talk to me about World War II, and you either have a collection of his things for the World War II, and it's in a box or something, and you were just recently looking at these items. Please wait, don't tell me, let him tell you.
Sorry.
I know there are pictures there as well. I feel like there is some kind of certificate or an award thing. I see pictures with him and his buddies. I want to tell you that there's something either, I don't know if you have part of a uniform or part, you understand that?
I had.
A hat, okay.
I had some of his uniform.
You had it, okay.
I did.
Did you just recently look at any of this sort of thing?
I took it out yesterday to
You
bring
took
it
it out
with me.
yesterday.
I brought it with me, his ID card.
You brought it with you here today? Thank you. Guess what? He's here.
He's been gone a long time.
And your mother, is she still alive, please? She passed over. Okay. Difference in height, boy.
Yeah.
Really difference in height. Yes, I hear your dad. They both want to say hello to you. But the father's talking about either having a medal of his, having a medal.
I have a key from his, from when he was in the war.
Okay, did you bring that with you also? Were you
No,
going
I
to bring
touched
that?
it yesterday, and
But
it
you were
was
thinking
too
of bringing
heavy.
that too, yes?
It was too heavy.
Okay, but you were thinking of bringing that too.
Yes.
You're just saying that, bringing that too.
Yes.
Who has the big family? Like, I don't know, 7 people? Or
There's 6 of us.
6 of you, okay.
Yeah.
And there's talk about a reunion or coming together, and it can be for the holidays, but there's something about coming together, he's telling me.
Just did last January.
You did that, okay, okay. And I don't know, he's talking about either having his things there or pictures of him and mother, and at this reunion, I don't know, someone gave you a picture or they were looking at these photos and things with him.
No. Oh, the picture of the 5 of us that are left together. Sorry.
Oh, you were looking at this picture?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Her sister made copies of it.
Sister made
for-
copies
when
of
we were
it.
little.
Yeah.
Oh, when you were little, okay. You can stand too if you like. Sure,
Her,
we're not
her
doing this
sister
right.
made copies of
When
the
we were all
picture for
little from the
everybody.
6 of us.
Okay.
And then we took another one at the reunion with the 5 of us.
Okay. I understand that. The brother that passed over, did he live in a different state?
Yes. Yes.
Him and your dad are connected, I'm telling you. They're connected. I'm going to tell you this. Hold on. I'm going to
Go
tell you that
ahead.
they're connected, and I'm going to tell you that, hold on. Even though they did not see eye to eye in the earth, they're seeing eye to eye now.
Good.
And it's taken
Good.
an opening of them passing over in order to start understanding each other, because I'm going to tell you there were 2 opposites, you know, in everything, Okay, I got to leave you with that, all right? Okay. Talk to me about World War II, and you either have a collection of his things for the World War II.
Jim said he saw lots of that around him, and you said you brought something of his with you today.
Yes, I brought his Navy card, his ID card from when he was in the military.
That's interesting. So that's from World War what, II?
World War II, and I have a bunch of other things that James had said about the key that I have in a box, and all this was in a box because he's been gone 20 years.
Yeah, 20
And I took,
years.
Yeah, I took this out yesterday.
Now,
and
why
put it
did
in
you
my
do
wallet.
that? Why were you
I
looking
just wanted
through his
something of my dad's
things
to bring.
And there's talk about a reunion or come together.
We got married 1.5 years ago, and my sister gave us a picture of when we were very young, all of us, the 6 of us. We haven't seen that in years. We took a picture of the 5 of us, and because my brother Eddie's gone, we put a balloon up, so it was the 6 of us that we're still in the picture, and we have both the pictures together.
Even though they did not see eye to eye in the earth, they're seeing eye to eye now.
Just being the oldest of 4 boys and then 2 younger sisters, he was always control also, but always opposite Dad. And it was nice when he said that they were actually together, because they really never were.
If you'd like a chance for a reading with James, send a letter to Beyond, P.O. Box 4399, Hollywood, California, 90078.
50% of that negative emotion, fear, worry, towards driving up a hill or down a hill is now gone, just as wax melts off a candle.
You know, for more information on Tom Silver, you can please check our website and find out everything you need to know. And I want to leave you with this. I hope you don't need a medium to reach the other side and tell your loved ones you love them. Tell them while they're alive, and you can enjoy each other together. Life is much more meaningful that way. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.